you want to automate the panning so that the effect flies in and out of each ear. Recently, a student producer of mine sent me one of his songs requesting my feedback on it, and this is what he sent me. Okay, give me the wobbles. He says here's his super rough sounding loop. He would like feedback on how he can move forward on it, and he's trying not to get overwhelmed. Well, my student John gave me the okay to hop into his project and show him, as well as you, how I would approach fixing up this song piece by piece. Let's see how we could turn this rough sounding loop into a banger. Okay, so he's got this nice little vocal on it. I'm going to mute that for now so we could focus on the instrumental. Whenever I'm fixing up songs, I first like to get the chords right. These are great chords, but we can revoice them and make them stronger. So these chords are written in their most basic form, which is the root third to the fifth. I'm going to throw a little curveball in that and put the thirds up an octave so we can use more of the piano roll. This note kind of sticks out, so I'm going to tuck it in a little. Also, because these chord-to-chord changes are so big, I'm going to connect them with a pedal tone to make their pitches more related to each other. One more thing. I'm going to take these bass notes, pull them down an octave. This can make the bottom end of the chords richer as well. Here's the original voicing. Here's the same chords, richer voicing. Alright, so the actual synth sound of these chords, it's nice, it's basic, but it's a little flat. I would keep it like that, but he uses the same sound for the wobbles. So I want to make him a sound that's a little more dynamic that he can make better wobbles with. So I'm going to duplicate these chords. We'll keep his original chords just in case he doesn't like what I add. And let's see what he used to make the chords. Okay, so he's using the stock Ableton Wavetable synth. Let's see if we can make a nice big synth with this. Now with a sound like this, we can automate the cutoff knob and make his little intro here significantly more intense. By automating the expression, every step of the way. Now when you have intense chords like that, there's no limit to how intense we can go. Check this out. We could take the same sound, but make it a sine wave, get rid of the chords. And we can make a little arp that rides along with it. Now a little more colorful. Alright, so the showstopper of this song are these wobbles. Looks like he made these wobbles by taking a ghost kick, which is a silent kick that triggers a compressor to duck out the synth sound at the rhythm of these ghost kicks. That is the cutest way I've ever seen somebody make wobbles. The good news is there are far easier ways to make wobbles now, because these dolls have advanced so much that we don't need ghost kicks anymore. We can use better tools that will make significantly better wobbles and give him much more control over those wobbles. So I deleted that compressor. We're going to go into the audio effects here in Ableton, grab the Auto Pan Tremolo tool, and it is like a wobble machine. Are we about to have a lot of fun? So if we put it on sync, we can actually make wobbles that dance to the rhythm of the beat. So I deleted his ghost kicks, but I remember they were triggering at different rhythms for every chord. So what I'm going to do is automate the rate knob of our wobbles to change every time we go to a new chord. This will create a very dynamic experience with these wobbles. I got to focus for this. I will see you in a second. All right, so it's easier to break the chords up and put them on different tracks according to that rate of speed rather than automating them. But before I play it back, I have to fix this kick. I have a rule. If you haven't been making music for more than 3 months, don't EQ your kicks. You'll do more damage to it that way than if you just leave it alone. I'm not saying you can't remove all the high frequencies from a kick like that in order to make a deep kick. I'm just saying that he removed so many high frequencies from that kick that it would make it really hard to hear that kick with all the other instruments in this drop. This kick sounds beautiful without any EQing. Good drums. What do you think? Ooh. Notice he left these 2 bars of empty space between the verse with the vocals and the drop. Wait till you see what I do with that 2 bars. We're gonna grab the last chord of our verse chords. They sound like this. Drag and drop them down here. Add some notes. That is a big chord. Get our trusty auto pan tremolo and we'll automate that chord to do something like this. So we'll take the rate of speed and we'll start fast up here and it'll end slow. Also, when you do these cool effects, you want to automate the panning so that the effect flies in and out of each ear. Now the drop sounds beautiful, but he didn't make a bass line, so I have no bass to fix up. That means I can make whatever bass line I want. So I'm going to drop a synth here. And this song reminds me of that artist, It's Murph. So I'm going to take his idea for a bass sound and try something like that. Now something to know about making wobbly synth drops like this is that the bass drives the wobbles. Like sure, the wobbles carry a lot of that rhythmic energy, but it's the bass that will allow the wobbles to sound more complete. So it's like a punchy bass sound. Let's heat it up. Oh yeah. Let's take the chords, drag and drop them onto our synth bass. But we're only going to use the bottom notes of the chords. The bottom notes of the chords are the best notes to use for the bass. That's not gonna work. We need some chaotic rhythm that'll work well with those wobbles. Can't just have all that rhythm in the wobbles and not complement it with a rhythmic bass. I never make basses like this, but listen to this bass. It's Murph did a bass style like that, and I've been dying to try it. Let's bring his vocal back in and check it out. Ooh. I hope he loves this. No wobbles for the second half. Never mind. I really hope he likes this. I think he could have a lot of fun just poking around and learning from this project, if anything. That's a video for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to send me your music so I can analyze it and show you how you can become a great producer, check out my resources in the description below this video, and stay tuned for the next video lesson.